Hey everyone, welcome to Craven Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Now, in this video, I'm going to discuss how Billy Loomis may not be appearing in Scream 6. Now, there are many sources in the world that can provide information and the inside scoop to things. But in this particular case, the source of this news got it right from the original source himself, Skeet Ulrich. Let's go. So my good friend Master Chaos TV, who was the first to break the news that Neve Campbell was not going to return one day prior to the news coming out, and I did a video on it here on the channel. You'll find it. Neve's not returning. You'll see it there if you haven't seen it already. But at the same convention where Neve shared this with Master Chaos TV, he also met with Skeet Ulrich, and he asked him at the end of their conversation, hopefully we're going to see you in Scream 6. And Skeet's response was, I honestly don't know. That was his response. And he actually was able to capture this one on video. So if you go to his channel, you can also see Skeet responding to him to the question. But basically, that's what he said. He said, I honestly don't know. Well, guys, I have to tell you, with that kind of a response, we got a movie here that's filming in 2 days. So at this point in time, if Skeet has not been contacted to return, it sounds to me like Melissa Barrera's character, Sam Carpenter, is no longer having hallucinations of her father, Billy Loomis. I really believe that's what's happening here. I think that the fact that and you see the video, he really looks sincere. He's like, hey, I honestly don't know. And he looked very genuine. And I don't think there's any reason for him to lie, especially now that the cat's out of the bag. I could see, like last year, they were keeping it a surprise. They didn't want anyone to know. That's different. But we all know about the Billy Loomis hallucinations. It's not a surprise. It's not something that needs to be secret anymore. So I do take Skeet at face value here. Of course, you could always say, again, he's pulling the card to keep it a secret. Maybe. I can't say that's impossible. It is possible. But just my opinion, after seeing the footage, I do believe he's being honest. I don't think we're going to see any more Billy Loomis hallucinations in Scream 6, which in one way I'll miss seeing Billy because it was cool. I know that a lot of people had problems with it. I didn't have any issues with it. I really didn't. I mean, you got Billy Loomis back in a Scream movie. Come on, man. That was cool. So I enjoyed it for myself. I did. I liked it. So I'll miss it though a little bit because I was assuming, based on how Scream 5 ended, when Sam is walking away from the ambulance, and she looks in the mirror, and there's Billy, not the mirror, sorry, the window, the car window, and there's Billy still looking at her, even after the events that happened at the end where she killed Richie. She kind of embraced her inner Loomis and let the serial killer in her come out for that moment. And I thought maybe that was going to be the time where she kind of exorcised him out, if you will. Like at that point, he was released because she was no longer struggling inside with her identity and fighting these potential urges she's been having since she found out that she is Billy's daughter. And I was like, that's a great way to do it. But instead of ending it there, they continue it outside as she's getting ready to leave. And she looks in the car window. There's Billy's reflection, which means she's still seeing him in Scream 5. She's still seeing him. So at the end of Scream 5. So it has been my thought that basically, that will probably continue into 6. We'll continue seeing her struggle with that and seeing Billy here and there. Maybe Billy continues to kind of push her forward. Maybe she's struggling with the dark side that is within her and those temptations and her identity. And that's kind of what I thought was coming. But with what Skeet says here, it really makes me start to doubt that, and that maybe that James and Guy, who are writers of the film, maybe they have decided that they're going to move away from that part of Sam, and maybe we'll find out in this movie that Sam actually was able to overcome those things after the night, that happened at the end of 5. Maybe she, we don't know what the time gap is either. This movie, remember Scream 2 was a 2-year gap between Scream 1 and Scream 2. So there were 2 whole years back then that were in play. We don't know what the gap of time will be for Scream 6. It's possible it could be a 1-year gap or a 2-year gap again. Get everyone out of high school, because we don't know. If Mindy and Chad, for example, and Tara, what if they were juniors in high school? They still had another year to go. So it's possible that this movie will take place, 1 to 2 years later after the events of Scream 5. Well, if that's the case, then that gives Sam, up to 2 years of getting professional help, maybe getting some counseling, some therapy, and working out all of these issues and the trauma of what she went through. All of that is going to all package up into a very serious thing. So it's possible that she will have worked through those issues that were causing the hallucinations. And remember, we never found out what Sam's diagnosis was. It was never revealed. All we saw was her taking her medicine more than once in the film, making a point to show us that at the beginning, again in the hospital, and then we hear Billy in the hallucination say the antipsychotics aren't working so well anymore. So, or aren't working so well, are they, Sam? I think that's what he said. So we don't know the exact diagnosis, but there definitely could be a time jump here with enough built in that Sam has worked it out. She no longer is seeing Billy. And I think that's the direction they're going here. Based on Skeet, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to take him at face value. There's always a chance it could flip and he's just fooling everyone. Sure. So factor that in. But I do feel overall that he's being honest and that we're not going to see Billy Loomis hallucinations in Scream 6. Excuse me, Scream 6. I think that it's been worked out, and we're going to start the story probably, maybe even someone comments on it. Maybe Sam and Tara are talking. Hopefully their relationship has gotten much closer now during this time. And maybe we hear a conversation where Sam says something like, or Tara asks him, are you still seeing him? Or do you see him anymore? Or, and she says something like, I haven't seen him since that night. I haven't seen him again, or I haven't seen him in the last year, whatever. There could be just a little comment that lets us as the audience know that Sam is moved forward. She's not there mentally anymore. And thus there's no more Billy Loomis hallucinations. So guys, that's what the news is I wanted to share with you guys. Again, go check out Master Chaos TV's channel. He's got a video where you can actually see Skeet tell him this in the video. I would encourage you to go check it out. But in the meantime, tell me what you guys think about this. Let me know in the comments below. Start leaving your comments. Let me know if you think it's a good thing or a bad thing that we're not going to see Skeet Ulrich back in 6, if that turns out to be what happens. Are you going to miss him? Were you hoping to see him? Or are you okay with moving on past the hallucinations and just moving forward with the story? Tell me what you guys think right now, and let's discuss it. Well, guys, that's going to be it for this update, but I'll be back soon with more Scream and other horror movie content. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, this is Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Thank you for watching.